Yo, what's going on? I'm Cody from Big Beaver Comics. We did a video already about a week ago. Go back on the channel, check that video out, subscribe to the channel, and like this video if you like it. We started talking about a recession and how a recession is going to affect the collector's verse as a whole, or how it's already affecting it. And we've noticed it in a multitude of different areas, depending on your sports cards, action figures, comic books. It doesn't make a difference what genre you happen to be in if you've been keeping a keen eye. You've noticed that there's been some price discrepancies and some changes and possibly an uptick in volume available and a downtick in the prices that people are charging. What we're going to talk about in this, since our first video was kind of an overlay of a recession and how it may affect a marketplace, we're going to break down the players in the marketplace in this video, and we're going to keep going on and on in this video series, and we're going to knock off a bunch of things. So let's get into this. This is an easy one. I find that there's three different branches of the collector's verse, everybody interacting with everybody else, and needed in a lot of senses. But why this recession for you that's watching this, because I imagine you're probably a collector for the most part, is actually going to be quite beneficial. Now, it's only going to be beneficial if you happen to be holding a little scratch on you. Might not be beneficial if things are getting a little tight. And if things are getting a little tight, my main concern for you would be take care of your responsibilities first. Your job is not to be deviating into your hobbies and overindulging in that kind of stuff. You got responsibilities to take care of. So collector or not, down market or not, this might not be the best buying opportunity for you. So let's start it off with a dealer. That's me. I'm a dealer. Now, I'm also a collector, so is Anthony, but we are dealers ultimately no matter what. So whether it's your LCS, whether it's a guy at a flea market, whether it's Toys R Us, whether it's Big Bad Toy Store, so on and so on and so on, secondary dealers are people or companies you're going to interact with because you're not dealing directly with Hasbro or Marvel or Disney or Panini or whatever other genre you happen to be in. So a secondary market dealer is someone you're going to be having to interact with. They, granted, have lights they've got to keep on, overhead, insurance, taxes, the whole nine yards. But the fact of the matter is they have to keep up with current market trends. They have to keep up with current market pricing, because if they're not on top of what the free market is saying, it's something is worth today, and they're using some trailing indicators, whatever it happens to be, they're going to find themselves pricing themselves way out of the market anyways. So a dealer, we need to be pretty honest. If you can see me right here behind me, you can go over to our YouTube channel. That's probably where you are right now. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, wherever it happens to be. The transparency is there. And the transparency for a dealer needs to be there. Now, a dealer can get into a little bit of a minutia that I don't like, and that's in speculating, especially like when I say speculating, I'm talking strictly on new stuff. Anything even 18 months removed and back has really a foundation for a price. So you'll see fluctuations based on if somebody's coming into a market with a new movie, there's a new video game coming out, something happened maybe in their series recently that got that character really hot in the mainstream for some reason, and it's been known to happen. So things can take off. Take a look at a football weekend. Well, we're coming out of a Sunday right now where receiver A.J. Brown used to be with the Titans, now with the Philadelphia Eagles. Massive game for Philadelphia as Philadelphia moves to 7-0. Jalen Hurts cards moving up, obviously, because Jalen Hurts playing well. But A.J. Brown, who by proxy, and is a number one receiver, but by proxy playing really well, you go back, his rookie cards and everything, starting to trend upwards. Is that trend going to continue? Do I recommend buying on a trend like that? It really depends on how you intrinsically feel about a player and where your long-term vision for that player might go, whether you're bringing that stuff into your PC, whether you're deciding to flip that kind of stuff. So I'm not a big fan of speculating, especially on new books. That's why we don't do it here. A lot of dealers do that kind of stuff, but you won't catch that from a Toys R Us or anything. They're going to bring in cases. Things are going to have flat prices. You want to buy them, buy them. You don't want to buy them, somebody else will buy them, or they'll end up on discount at some point. Let's talk about a flipper. Let's talk about somebody who does a lot of move. And you could call them a pumper, because sometimes it does happen, right? Sometimes you have people that pump the market. They do some shill bidding. Who knows what they do? They drum up fervor that might not otherwise be relevant fervor, and they do it for specific reasons. Now, you're not going to just find this in the collector's verse. You're going to find this across Wall Street. You're going to find basically anywhere, whether it's new tech that's coming out. You always have to follow the money and see where people have a vested interest in having you sold on an idea. And we recommend, when I say we, Big Beaver Comics, we recommend do your own research. There is a multitude of research avenues available so that you don't get caught with your pants down. So you end up at least buying into things at a price that it may not be the price you want. Things may be out of a price range that you feel comfortable with at that moment. And I would say if you're not comfortable, don't buy it, but you will at least have the adequate amount of knowledge to be able to execute on something based on what others are executing on. And when we talk about show bidding and stuff, we're going to also talk about platforms where that takes place, auction houses, all that kind of stuff. And we will get into influencers, platforms, PWCC, eBay, Golden, Heritage, all that kind of stuff in a future video. But for right now, number one was the dealers, that's me. Number two, like we were saying, are the flippers, are the pumpers. And they were just in an up market. Up market was crazy. A couple of years of an up market. Now you're hitting a recession, a global economic recession. It's not just that through COVID everybody was stuck at home and now everybody has broadened their horizons again and the nightclubs are going and everybody's out there dealing with that. That's not just the case. The case is that money's a little tight. People are working hard. They got to take care of their families. Well, those people that were speculating, those people that were flipping stuff, those people are sitting on a lot of product. They got over in front of their skis, and I can tell you one thing, there's a lot of silly squirrels out there that don't prepare for winter. They're sitting on very few nuts, and they need to try to figure it out. And for flippers, well, hey man, you had a grass green opportunity. It was out there. It was flourishing. You should have banked a lot of that. You should have thought about building into your marketing, diversifying your assets, diversifying your business. But I'm not here to educate you on how to be a better entrepreneur. That is your business, my friend. My business is my business. So the flippers out there, and I don't begrudge you. You're allowed to make a bag however you want to make it. Capitalism is a beautiful thing, and I embrace capitalism wholeheartedly, whether I'm on the winning end or the losing end of a transaction, because capitalism, freedom, the opportunity to have a choice and a say and to execute in the marketplace how you deem it's viable or feasible is totally fine with me. But when you get yourself on the other side of a real upturn in the market and you find yourself way over leveraged, whether it's debt-wise, whether it's stock-wise, whatever it happens to be, and things tend to bottleneck, you find yourself now holding far more product, far more whatever it happens to be, NFTs, I don't know what you're holding. You find yourself maybe holding on to that and having to move it out for maybe not pennies on the dollar, but a discounted price from where things were 6 months ago, 8 months ago, 2 years ago. Fair enough. That's on you, baby. That's not on me. Now we move into the collectors, man, and this is what the majority of us are. These are the people that I love. These are my people. If you know anything about Big Beaver Comics, if you've ever checked out our live shows, we are very amicable to our collectors because our collectors are what make the world go round. They're the people we like interacting with. They're the people that come into our shows and keep us educated on all the minutiae and moving parts, because the fact of the matter is there are far too many cogs going in too many industries for me to have my finger, or Anthony to have his finger on the pulse of all of them. And shout out to our collector friends who are always keeping us in the loop, letting us know this, letting us know that. We appreciate you guys like a motherfucker. Anyways, why is this beneficial to you collectors? Well, like I was just saying, these flippers, man, they're holding on to way too much product. They have got lots of stuff out there, and they probably weren't in this industry before. They probably weren't in the sports card. Let me grab sports cards. If your comic books in your bag, they probably weren't in the sports card industry before. You know what I mean? That just wasn't their gimmick. They weren't in the action figures. They just saw an avenue to a bag, like they do with cryptocurrency, like they do with NFTs. And they come in like a ghost, and they leave like a ghost too, like a whimper in the night. Sad. But for you, that's an opportunity, because now things coming off the line, first off the line, won't be being eaten up. You won't have prices being driven up because so much money coming in from outside of these markets are coming in, skewing market prices, making you think all of a sudden every comic book comes out is worth $25. The hell is that? Every variant cover that's a 1 in 25 that has a first appearance of some guy that's only going to be in 2 issues and the rest of his entire lifespan and whatever imprint he's on. How's that a $150 book? Well, it's not. That's usually what it is. It's absolutely not. But when you have a bunch of outside money coming in trying to influence things, it seems like that. But in this instance, it's you in the driver's seat now. You're in control. This is a buyer's market. And like I said, you need to actually have disposable income. Please do not go out and do the same thing a flipper did, which is get over in front of your skis and find yourself spending money that you need for a mortgage payment. But if you get yourself adequately educated, look around, deal with dealers who deal in transparency, you are going to find that a buyer's market is going to benefit you wholeheartedly. And I, for one, who am a collector myself, a collector of a lot of wrestling. I'm a wrestling guy, so I got a lot of wrestling stuff. Whatever. I know it's fake. I like wrestling, so whatever. Hulk Hogan, shout out to the brother. This is your market, man. This is your opportunity. And I think as much as other people think, it's recession, it's this, it's that, don't pull back on your hobbies. Keep a keen eye on things. Keep your finger on the pulse, you know what I mean? Because you might find that there's opportunities out there that a few years ago, you did not think you had any opportunity to get involved in. And now the entry points might not be anywhere off where you can't just be like, hey, that's feasible for me, man. That's something I can actually sink my teeth into. I can justify this. And that's what I like to see. Because at the end of the day, this, sports cards, whatever it is there a little bit of high-end stuff? There is, man. There's some Silver Age first appearances and things that get a little wacky. Prices get way up there. And granted, that's due to scarcity. There's high demand and scarcity, and especially scarcity and high grade, totally justifiable, right? We're talking about a Jim Brown rookie card or a Johnny Unitas rookie card, some Mickey Mantle cards, DiMaggio, or even LeBron rookies, or things where when those instances were taking place, those markets might not have had the liquidity, or might not have had the viability, or might not have the audience. So those things are out there in smaller and smaller numbers. But when you're talking about stuff that's just pumped off the line, hey man, this stuff shouldn't be overpriced. This stuff should be an adequate price that everybody can partake with. And I think now this market, more than any other market, is a market for collectors. So don't let the words recession get you all kerfuffled. Because the fact of the matter is if you are financially in a decent spot, got a good job, everything's stable, mortgage is paid, kids are taken care of, important stuff first, this is going to be the opportunity where you're going to find slabs. A lot of these books shouldn't have been slabbed. A lot of these cards shouldn't have been slabbed. People were out there just throwing good money after bad, or bad money after good, or they didn't even know what they were doing. In fact, a lot of them were just stretched out on PPP loans or CERB money or whatever it was. A lot of these guys are walking around toy aisles. We're going to talk about influencers. There's so many people out there that walk into comic stores and take close-up pictures of books they don't own, take pictures in toy aisles of toys they don't own, and they go, oh, look at all the stuff I scored. You didn't buy any of that, bro. You didn't buy any of that. You're posturing. And people like you that do that kind of stuff, you're bad for this marketplace, because you then make other people feel like, man, I got to get out there. FOMO takes over, and they got to get out there and they got to participate. So don't listen to any of that stuff. Do your research. Free market shows transactions across a lot of platforms. You can come to a scrupulous dealer, man. You go take a look at our reviews. Come to a dealer. Ask some questions. We offer anybody who, when we go and look at a collection, we're happy to give you a free assessment. I don't need to come and buy your stuff. If you don't want to deal with me, that's fine. I'll still come and let you know what you got, because at the end of the day, I'm still a collector. And if I educate you properly, you now become one more asset in this industry to potentially, hopefully, if you've got some dignity, keep people honest, keep yourself honest, and keep the rest of everybody informed. So collectors, don't let recession fool you. This is your market. Get back in there, put your dukes up, and go get that stuff for 30% off what it was a couple of years ago. It might not be the Silver Age stuff you were looking for. You may not get First Galactus. You might not find First Punisher on discount, but you're going to find a lot of stuff that was overbought. And now you might find things go all the way to the other end of the spectrum and find themselves oversold. This is your market, my man. There's going to be more of this stuff. I promise you. Check this playlist, like this video, subscribe to the channel. I'm Cody from Big Beaver Comics. Join us on Instagram and Facebook, where we knock these comic books, action figures, and sports cards out on a regular basis. Questions, comments, concerns, down there. And stay cool, man. Peace.